Hey guys, Jessica here. I really appreciate you guys speaking with me this morning and accepting this free video. I am super excited that you did because today I'm going to walk you through 3 strategies you can start applying right away, and it's going to make a huge difference in your business. And I know that it will because we've applied these same strategies with over 50 other restoration companies just like you guys, and it's made a huge impact in their business. Now, right now, you serve a good sized service area, but you're only getting about 27 people organically to your website. And what that means is it's people that are searching either your name or service and then clicking a link and landing on your website versus typing it up here in the web browser, okay? So you're actually missing hundreds and thousands of searches every single month by not having these strategies in place. Now, as you can see, we are here on your website, and you do have a fabulous looking website. The design looks really nice. But unfortunately, Google does not rank websites based on how they look. It is based on content. And in the last 18 months, Google has made a ton of changes on what they want to see and how they're ranking websites. And then in just the last 60 to 90 days, there's been 3 more big algorithm changes that have caused tons of volatility. Tons of websites that used to rank are no longer ranking. Okay, so this new content strategy and what Google wants is going to be absolutely critical for you guys moving forward. Now, Google is mobile first, so having click to call phone numbers like this is really important. Um, and also being people first. We used to get away with just being able to write a bunch of generic content and just listing out services and keywords, and that was enough, but that doesn't work anymore. So not only do we need content, but we need the right type of content. Google wants you to have a separate page for all your major services, which it looks like for the most part you have. Um, you have a couple crawl space and attic, so I'm curious if this is the major service you're trying to target, or if water damage is the major service you're trying to target. So that is a little bit confusing. But you do want a separate page for all your major services. Google wants that because then you have one page designated to everything about that service. So for water damage, you might talk about the different types of water intrusion, how they happen, and what to do when you find it. And then what your process looks like and what type of equipment you use, because then that's going to showcase you as an expert. It's going to help answer all the most common questions your customers have, and you're going to have enough content to really hyper focus on the local keywords for that service. So if your homepage is based on Redwood or San Jose, everything on your homepage and all your service pages should be based on that same location. So that could be Redwood water damage Redwood, water damage repairs Redwood, water damage repairs Redwood CA. People search differently. You have to capitalize on the different ways people search in your written content. So that's going to be really important. And this homepage here is the most important page of your entire website because it tells Google what your entire site is about. Okay, what all these pages are about. So you do have to have the right type of content. You want to make sure everything's optimized. You want your images optimized. Let's see, what does that say? Damage restoration in Redwood City, leader restoration. Okay, so that one's decent. So you want to make sure each of these images throughout your website is optimized with the local keywords. Now, there's a lot of talking here. Sorry about that. There's a lot of talking here on different locations. Okay, we can mention where you serve, but then the rest of this page has to be focused on that one area because otherwise you're going to be confusing Google's bots. Okay, so this whole page, if if we are basing it in San Jose, it needs to be San Jose, or if it's Redwood City, it needs to be Redwood City. Okay? Here again, Redwood City and San Jose. So we're combining locations. This is confusing for Google. There's no local keywords here. These are all national keywords. You're not servicing nationally. We have to focus on local keywords. 90% of the time when people are searching, they don't know who you are. They're not going to search your brand. They're going to search those local keywords. So we have to focus on emergency water extraction in Redwood City, flood damage restoration, Redwood City, etc. Okay? This homepage also needs 1,500 words or more of written content. Like I said, it looks really good, but you don't have the depth of content. This is all pretty generic information. You really need that detailed content on these services. Helpful, people first content. Google is looking for the EEAT in your content now. That is expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trust. And that needs to be built into all these pages and all of this content. Really building those trust factors and experience here. You definitely also need service area pages, okay? These are a ton of cities in your service area. And Google is proximity based. So based on where the person is searching from. And so if you want to show up outside of Redwood City, you actually want to show up in San Jose, Palo Alto, and all these other areas, you have to have separate service area pages, which will be similar to that homepage, talking about each of the major services, but have its own unique keyword strategy for that page. So your content and keyword strategy here is going to be really, really important, okay? Now, your top competitor in San Jose is ATI Restoration. And yes, they are a big corporation or franchise. Most of these are not able to change the content for their area. And so you guys actually have an advantage over them. You just have to do better. So you have to have more content on the page. Okay. You need better quality content and focused on the local keywords, more blog articles, etc. Okay. And when you do that, you'll be more competitive and be able to outrank your competition. Now, when we look here, we know when somebody does a search, they'll do something like this. And when they do, there's three main areas. You guys have the opportunity to have your website show up in top positions. The first are going to be ads, generally, and that is your local service ads and cost per click, which can be really profitable. It looks like this may be your ad right here. I'm not going to click on it, but hopefully that's not going to a main website page, but it is a separate landing page, okay? You need designated landing pages so that you're not losing the leads, okay? They need a designated landing page so you have the best chance for conversion. But unfortunately, as long as you're paying for this, you'll get leads. But the minute you stop paying that, your leads dry up. So these other two areas are actually more important. This is going to be your local service, or sorry, your Google Business Profile or Google Map Pack. Okay, you want your profile to be in the top 3 because 30% of people come straight here and don't go anywhere else. And so when your profile doesn't show up here, you're leaving 30% of your revenue on the table. Okay, so in order for your profile to show up in your area, you do have to optimize that profile and get more citations, which is simply listing the name of the business, the address, phone number, and website, and placing those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, Glassdoor, Better Business Bureau, Angie's, and House. All of those are really critical citations for you to have, and more than your competition. Okay, And when you do, it's going to give you a big boost. See, then we're seeing another one of your ads there. And this third section here, this is the most critical section. This is your organic section. This is the most important section because 60 to 70% of people come straight here. They skip the ads, they skip the maps, and they come to the organic section. So when your website doesn't show up here, you're losing an additional 60 to 70% of those available jobs and searches every single month. So in order for your website to show up here for your different service areas and services, it all comes back to the foundation of this website. Do you have the proper content and keyword strategy? Because Google is sending bots to your website, okay, that are like little robots that go and they scan every image, all this written text, all your pages to understand what you guys are about. What type of services are you offering? And where do you offer those services? So if Google doesn't understand, they cannot be sending people to your website. So dialing in that content keyword strategy and then supporting that with a backlink SEO strategy is exactly how you're going to drive that traffic. So now if we look here, you have a rating of a 0 out of 100 in Google's trust flow. So Google does not trust your website, okay? And that has mostly to do with the power you're sending to it. Your website is a very important tool, and like most tools, they require power. So we power websites with backlinks. You need a lot of backlinks. We need more than our competition. But not all backlinks are created equal, okay? We only want good do-follow links that are closely related to your services. And so they oftentimes come from other home service businesses, vendors, etc. Okay, you have 92 and a score of 0, which tells me majority, if not all of these, are spammy links that are doing more harm than good. Okay, you have been indexed for a couple keywords and you're getting 27 people to your site. You have, looks like about 5 keywords that are on the first page of Google. The higher you rank, so the closer you get to the first position, the more traffic you can get. So this one keyword here for mold removal, Redwood City, has 150 searches per month, and you got 12 of those, okay? Because you're in the 6th position. So the higher you get in position, the more of this traffic you can get. So even those that are on the first page, you want to keep working those keywords to get them as high as possible to capture the most traffic as possible, okay? But you don't have very many keywords. You've got a large service area, so you really have to focus on a good keyword strategy for each service and service area. So not only are you indexing, but you're driving traffic to your site, okay? When we look at your competitor, ATI, this one location page, okay, this is a single page. They're not doing SEO, but they have a higher score with less backlinks, okay? They're not really doing SEO because there's nothing to, they can't fix what's wrong, okay? But the site has a lot of power, so it's able to push power back to the other service pages, okay? This one page has been indexed with 31 keywords and gets 189 people to their page, okay, for this one location. So they're getting 190 to one page. You're getting 27 throughout your entire website, okay? And when we look here at the keywords in San Jose, we can see they are in the top. They're on the first page. They've actually lost some ranks, but they're on the first page here. So they're getting a ton of traffic just to this one page. So all these guys are beatable. You just have to follow these strategies. I hope you found this information to be helpful. Please feel free to apply them yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And if you'd like a partner in growth, at Peterson SEO, this is our specialty. So please feel free to reach out by email or give us a call, and we would be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.